On the ill-fated night of Friday the 13th, January 2012, the Costa Concordia, a luxurious Italian cruise ship, set sail with over 4,000 passengers and crew members on board. Little did they know that this voyage would soon turn into a harrowing nightmare, leaving an indelible scar on the history of maritime disasters. As the vessel glided through the calm waters of the Tyrrhenian Sea, Captain Francesco Schettino made a fatal decision. In an attempt to give the passengers a closer view of the picturesque island of Giglio, he deviated from the ship's predetermined course. Unbeknownst to him, hidden beneath the tranquil surface lay a treacherous reef, a maritime menace that would forever change the fate of the Costa Concordia. The enormous ship, stretching over 950 feet in length, was not built to withstand the violent embrace of jagged rocks. At 9:45 p.m., the Costa Concordia's hull collided with the unforgiving granite, tearing a massive 160-foot gash in its side. Panic and chaos ensued as passengers and crew members grappled with the realization that their vessel was sinking. Captain Schettino's actions in the following hours would go down in infamy. Rather than taking charge of the situation and ensuring the safety of those on board, he abandoned ship prematurely, leaving passengers to fend for themselves. As the ship tilted precariously to one side, people scrambled to find lifeboats, life jackets, and any means of escape. The panic was palpable, with terrified cries filling the cold, dark night. Rescue efforts commenced swiftly, but the disaster claimed the lives of 32 people. Many were trapped inside the ship as it listed, making evacuation nearly impossible. The tragedy, exacerbated by the captain's negligence, sparked international outrage. One haunting image that has remained etched in the collective memory is the shocking photo of the Costa Concordia lying on its side, a grotesque spectacle against the backdrop of the serene Mediterranean. The image serves as a grim reminder of the cost of recklessness and hubris. The once majestic cruise liner now stands as a symbol of a maritime catastrophe that should never have occurred. In the realm of hip-hop, the story of Tupac Shakur's death is as haunting as any urban legend. On a Friday the 13th, September 13th, 1996, the world was introduced to a dark and twisted tale that would forever haunt the genre. Tupac Amaru Shakur, a charismatic and enigmatic figure in the rap world, had been embroiled in a long-standing feud with several other artists. His life had already been marked by turmoil and controversy, but what transpired on that fateful night would send shockwaves through the industry. On the evening of September 7, 1996, Tupac Shakur, riding in a BMW with Death Row Records CEO Marion Suge Knight, stopped at a red light in Las Vegas. Moments later, a white Cadillac pulled up beside them, and several shots were fired into their car. Tupac was hit multiple times and mortally wounded. The rapper was rushed to the hospital, where he clung to life for 6 days, his condition deteriorating as the world watched in shock and disbelief. On Friday, the 13th of September, 1996, Tupac Shakur took his last breath and succumbed to his injuries, leaving behind an unfinished legacy and a trail of unanswered questions. But the most chilling aspect of this story was yet to be revealed. In the aftermath of Tupac's death, a photograph emerged that would fuel conspiracy theories for years to come. The last known photograph of Tupac Shakur, also known as Tupac, was taken on September 7, 1996, just a few hours before he was fatally shot in Las Vegas, Nevada. The photograph was taken at a stoplight in a car driven by Knight, the CEO of Death Row Records, with whom Tupac was associated. On a fateful Friday the 13th in 1972, Uruguayan Air Force Flight 571 embarked on a routine journey. The passengers, mostly young members of a Uruguayan rugby team, were filled with excitement as they set out for Santiago, Chile. Little did they know that their lives were about to take a terrifying turn. Mid-flight, the aircraft encountered treacherous weather conditions, leaving the crew disoriented. The pilot struggled to maintain control as turbulence threw the plane into a violent descent. With the passengers' screams echoing through the cabin, the aircraft ultimately collided with the unforgiving slopes of the Andes. Amid the wreckage and chaos, survivors emerged from the twisted metal and snow-covered terrain, battered but alive. They were confronted with the immediate challenges of surviving in the harsh wilderness, with no supplies or communication with the outside world. But even more terrifying than the frigid temperatures and hunger was the grim realization that their ordeal was far from over. Days turned into weeks, and hope dwindled as they waited for rescue that never came. Their dire circumstances compelled them to make a horrifying decision. They would have to resort to cannibalism to stay alive. The Andes had become their inescapable prison, where the line between survival and morality blurred into a chilling nightmare. As the ordeal stretched on, a rescue mission was finally mounted. After 72 days in the unforgiving mountains, the survivors were saved, but not before enduring unimaginable suffering and making the heart-wrenching choice to consume the flesh of their fallen comrades. The horrifying photo taken at the end of their ordeal is a stark testament to their struggle for survival. It captures the hollow eyes and emaciated bodies of those who had confronted the unthinkable. It serves as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk within the human spirit when faced with the direst of circumstances.